What's up, guys? It's your boy, Dope Randy, back at it again with another video. And this time, we're going to be doing one of the most classic races of the year, the Southern 500 from Darlington Raceway in Darlington, South Carolina, as it's throwback weekend, and you get to see our throwback scheme. It's the same one from last year. But the race before that, we went to Richmond International Raceway, the short track in Virginia, and we qualified on the pole. First stage we got third, actually fourth. Second stage we had the stage win until Jekyll and Hyde just punted us out of the way. And we got third. And then in the final stage, we messed up on pit strategy. Ow! That's right out of the get-go. Hello! Then ow again. As Doug just decides to kill us in qualifying for no reason at all. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, Richmond. But yeah, in the final stage, we was hanging around the lead. Then we got too cute and spun around, and had to come in way too early than expected. We saved enough gas to make it to the end. However, we did lose a spot in the progress, and we got fourth place. So it was a pole, then fourth, then third, then fourth, which is okay, I guess. So we move on to Darlington, one of the toughest tracks on the circuit. As I don't know what's going on. As we're just trying to catch back up to the lead. We're trying to run as fast laps as we can. Hello! As the ultimate power move, we can pass stuck on the outside, but we get loose. Trying to get too cute with it. We save it. So we're coming to 3 laps to go. Our fastest is a 29.382. And this is when I'm, pissed, as I can't get around anybody. And here comes Luke, a race contender alongside us. And that beautiful number 7, GoDaddy. We're going to be side by side. He lets us go because she can't go too wide into turn 1. And we're just going to get a great turn 1. And as we're coming to the white flag, 1 lap to go in the qualifying race presented by Bojangles, #cheap plug. As we get a 29.275, which is blazing fast. We get loose off turn 1 though, and that's probably going to kill this lap. And then coming to the line, we get an 85, that's fine. But yeah, not the best qualifying session. right off the get-go. But we made it work. So as you wait to see what our results are, if you like what you see, hit the thumbs up and subscribe. And also comment down below. And hit the bell to turn on all notifications. We're starting to, like I've been saying, the playoffs are about 3 races away now for Darlington. After Darlington, we only have 2 more races, and trucks we only have 3 more races. I mean, it's that time, and the playoffs have started in my Madden thing. So, yeah. Thank you all for the support. Also, if it wasn't for y'all, there'd be no channel. So we get third at a 29.275. And in a shocking turn of events, Spank got the pole at a 29.201. And then me and Mayo tied at a 29.275. So, you know, I'm basically already locked into the playoffs. So the move for me at this point is just to get as much playoff points as I can. So we're basically going to be going for broke. Or trying to. If the situation presents itself. We're going to try to go for these stage wins. If not, we're just going to have to go for the race win. Because I feel like anybody can win at Darlington as long as they don't mess it up. With that said, we are live from the Southern 500 at Darlington Raceway. As Luke gets spun out on the first, not even 50 feet into the race. That's interesting. I don't know how, but he did. TG hits the fence in turn 1. I'm now in second. And I know passing at Darlington is like pulling teeth. So I'm just gonna have to be super duper patient and just wait for him to mess it up. As he hits the wall coming out of 1. And we're just gonna go straight to his back bumper again. At a 29.62. But like I said, I'm just basically waiting on Spank as he hits the wall. I could have passed him, but I would have taken that chance of crashing. As you don't want to get too impatient. As I see an opportunity, but no. Not yet. As I hit the wall, but I think he also kind of hit the wall, so we're all good. STG has decided to join us as it's now become a 3-person breakaway at the lead. With 20 laps to go in stage 1. Still got a long way away. As I am just riding Spank just to ride him up. Use his aggressiveness to his detriment, and there he goes. He's going to wash up the track. We're going to be side by side coming into turn 1. I ain't lifting. If you think that, you're an idiot. He hits the fence. And then tries to pinch us. But that ain't going to happen. Clear him. And the new leader is the Baked Beans Man. The Baked Beans Man. And let's see if we can pull away from these two. With 18 laps to go. But then he's just gonna... Well. That's that. Spank being too aggressive just punted us into the fence. And then... Yeah, that was just bad. That was just completely bad. Not the way. Absolutely not the way. So TG and I are now 1-2. And I had a feeling that he would be the class of the field. Speaking of which, we're just going to let him go right here for the lead. Because there's no hope. I had one AWOL coming up the track in turn 1, and that just led him to the lead. And so basically, we're going to try to do the same thing that we did to that 22 and just wait for him to make a mistake. However, I got a feeling with the way he's driving, that might not happen, so we might just have to hang on to it. The one good thing about this is that we all pulling away from everybody else. I say that, but Mayo is catching up to us a little bit in that number 88 throwback scheme. As I get a good turn 1 right here. And TG just continues to smack the fence. Now, another question is, when are we going to make green flag pit stops? As with this lap, after this lap, we'll be halfway through with stage 1. 2 tires at Darlington is like adding poison. It's like eating poison into your... Bleh. Taking 2 tires is like putting poison in someone's cocktail at a fancy party. You're just gonna kill their chances to live. And yeah, so 4 tires, definitely. As I decide to come down pit road, we barely get on pit road. Mayo, I think, misses pit road. That's a goof. Oof. And I don't know what happened to the 22, but he was all over the place. So it's 4 tires, but it's a 16.9 second pit stop. Oh, that's way too long. As we finally get back out. But dang, that's a long time. And the good news is that we have clean track as far as the eye could see. Because I think Cam missed pit road. As we got 10 laps here to try to make something happen. As you can see, some people actually decided to take 2. TG and Spank decided to take 2. That is Dancing with the Devil. As we got 9 laps to go, let's see what can happen. But the gap might be too big for anything to happen. But we're catching them pretty good. As everyone ought to be cycling out. As you see Cowboys, and I think that's Duck. Oh, I'm not, someone's gotta, watch out. Hello! Okay. Doug, I don't know what I did to you, but dang, dude. That's qualifying, and now this. Just like that idiot driver on the interstate. And so Cowboys is now with us, but, I mean, yeah. Up to 3rd now. We did kind of lose some progress with Spank in the middle of all of that. As we got 6 laps to go. And the gap hasn't really gone down that much, except that time. That was a good turn 3. But I think we're going to be stuck in 3rd place. Even though the gap is closing significantly. But I don't think it's going to be enough. It's at least 2 or 3 tenths a turn. As we have to do a nice braking job to not hit that wall with 4 laps to go. As I don't think anything's going to happen from this. We got an interesting top 5 in Cuddle and Cowboys. They both took 2, I'm gonna assume. We got 3 laps to go. The gap's down to a 1.5 seconds. And shrinking. If we can get around Palmetto nicely, I don't know, something could happen. We got 2 laps to go now. As I just gotta get under, we get loose. And I don't think we're gonna get 14 tenths. In that little time, as we're coming to the white flag. 1 lap to go, presented by McDonald's, #cheap plug. And so 2 tiles. I mean, look at the gaps. They shrunk considerably, but they got enough position. Well, we're going to get finessed out of a position. We do finish 3rd, though. But yeah, we do get finessed. That's tragic. But it's alright. So, 3rd place in stage 1. Cowboys was 4th. Mayo got back up into 5th. Cutter was 6th. T-Bone Celtics 8th. Trilogy 9th. Luke 10th. After spinning phantomly on the first, I don't know, what would you call that, 300 feet? Yeah, he didn't even make it 100 yards, I don't know. That's just crazy. So stage 2, basically the same thing. Don't mess it up. 22 laps this time, 2 laps shorter. TG is gonna save it. They both hit. Spanked in the fence. That was close. Someone just got punted into the inside wall. I think it might have been Cowboys. And so, here we go again, if you will. We get to do the whole thing over again. This time we have a new 3rd place! As I get loose. And then we're just going to lose talent and hit the wall. And then we're going to lose talent again and hit another wall. 2 Darlington stripes in a row. And then TG is going to clip the apron, save it. Comes back onto the track. We get around him. And just like that, it's a Team Randall's 1-2. That's cool. With Mail and I being the top 2 spots. As I am winging this thing. And then that happens. We give it too much gas coming out of the turn. And we fall back to 5th immediately. But you can't go back on the past. You can only look to the future. I see that spanking Celtics are going crazy. For 3rd place, well. By the way, Celtics is the new replacement for Jay Miller, if you haven't noticed. Jay Miller was effectively banned. For I don't know why. Nor do I want to know why. But yeah, Celtics is the new permanent driver of the 21. As we get around him for 4th. Spank does a nice job blocking us for 3rd. But I get such a good run on the inside. He takes it away. We're just going to have to tuck back in the line. As you see, it's pretty much 6 people. And then everybody else. 3 Pats of 2. Mayo hits the wall with the lead. And TG's going to take over. Oh, Spank almost just ended our life. As we're going to catch up back up to his back bumper immediately. And then we just get such a good run. We get such a good run on entry. But he gets it off. As you see, he's going to... I try to take away the side draft, though. And... he hits the wall! I was there. And now I'm back to 6th. Immediately. Talk about a disaster. 13 laps to go. It's alright, we still got plenty of time in this stage. Something, you never know, something could happen. As I am winging this, as Spank hits the wall, he gets loose, and of course we're going to be right back together, but this time I ain't having none of that, fam. And we kid around him for 5th as he kisses the wall in 1. So now the next target is that green and black number 7 of Luke. I got this thing whipping out. As much as it has been all day, the back end is just kicking around. But sometimes that's a good thing, so you can get that run through the middle. I feel like we're pretty fast. It's just, can we limit the mistakes? That's going to be the thing. As TG decides to come down pit road this time. And he makes it. And if you haven't noticed, Darlington is one of the toughest pit roads to get on. Because it's just so out of the way. And then I get loose. Luke hits the wall. And then Luke decides he's going to come down pit road this time. And Mayo also decides to come down pit road. So it's going to be me, Celtics, and Spank are the only 3 combatants who hasn't came down yet. We get loose. But that's not a bad thing. And so we decide to come down this time. And then I ain't going to make it. Or am I? No. Shoot. And then we spin on the decals. And that is a disaster way. That is a huge disaster. Talk about mistakes. You ain't gonna win by. So we're gonna pit this time. We decide to slow up a lot. Strauss. What? This time we hit pit road kind of cleanly. I mean, Strauss wanted to kill us. But, so we're gonna take 2 tires. And we're gonna tighten this thing up incredibly. Because I don't want to get, we're basically losing up. We're basically taking back all the ground we just lost by missing pit road. If you want to win these races, you gotta be mistake free. Missing pit road is not being mistake free. That is the complete opposite. That is being trash. And as you can see, we're going to lose a lot of time. A lot of time. 4 seconds worth of time. and a half. 4.5 seconds of time. Just not good. 6 laps to go. I don't know who that is. We hit the wall. This stage 2 just save it. But this stage 2 has just come from hell. Yeah, this is the stage 2 from hell. And it's not good. Not good at all. 5 laps to go. We get up into 6th. I don't know if we're going to get any more, to be honest. We took 2. You want to be on 4 titles, but you know. The situation called for to take 2 just to get back out of position. If we would have taken 4, we would have been back there with T-Bone and LKG. Or no, LKG would be ahead of us. We'd be where T-Bone is. I don't know. It's a crazy, crazy season. As we're coming to 3 laps to go. As we're basically all by ourselves. I feel like we have a pretty fast Bush's Baked Beans throwback scheme. But I mean, you know, it's just not going to happen. As we do have some traffic up there. As we're coming to 2 laps to go. We do have traffic. Luke! Is that Luke? Yeah, that's Luke. He gets into the... Okay. Palmetto probably had something to do with it. Luke, I guess he hit the wall. And lost all of his position. They were coming to the white flag for stage 2. 1 lap to go. Presented by Amazon. Hashtag cheap plug. Could we get 5th? Probably not, but you never know. As he does hit the wall. But I don't think it's going to be enough. And it won't be. So I get 6th after a disastrous second half to stage 2. Starting with that spin in turn 1, it just compounded on top of each other. So we got to take that out of our system. The good thing is Mayo did win this stage for us. That's pretty good. He did win the stage for us. It's the top 10. You see it on the screen. LKG in P7, that's pretty cool. Traction in 9th, that's also pretty cool. But yeah. We're on the outside. Row 3 for the final stage, the money stage. This is when you have to be mistake free. Whoever makes the fewest mistakes is going to win this race. You probably can't say that. I mean, you probably can say that for all the other tracks, but this track in particular, you have to drive it greatly. As right out of the get-go, right out of the get-go, That's, that ain't good. Getting caught up in someone else's mess, and we are gonna take a great fall as we gotta get around. We lost 8th and 7th. We lost 6th and 7th. We gotta get back up there quickly. And LKG is in the 4th place. Okay. But we just gotta get around these guys quickly. Cowboys in that number 1. That's 1. Luke got around 8. LKG T-Bone spins. Those 2. So we're back up to 6th. We get loose. We have a good run on the LKG. Don't you try the side draft with us. He tried it, but ain't gonna work. So, in basically one turn, we go from 8th to 5th. I will take that. As we get loose, too much gas coming out of the turns. As you can see, that those 3, that's the gap between us, me and Luke, and those 3. Pretty significant. 3.5. With 36 laps to go. I think that's Mail winning. As again, trap position is King. It's kind of like Iowa. You want to be up towards the front because it's difficult to pass. Also, you want to be up front because if you do something bad, you won't lose that many spots. Like I'm doing. I think I'm trying to drive it just a tick too hard, which you can't necessarily do at Darlington. You kind of have to take the road course approach. Less is more, and the less you think about it, the better. If you want to think about it like that. As we got only 34 laps to go. I feel like we are probably a little faster, but I have to find a rhythm. If you don't have rhythm, then you're basically useless. As we are catching some guys pretty nicely. We ran a 29.19. That's one of our fastest laps of the whole weekend. For qualifying and the race. As you really don't want to make a move on anyone at Darlington. You kind of have to let them make a mistake. You saw that in stage 1. When I did it to TG and Spank. In stage 2, might have gotten a little too aggressive and it kind of bit me in the butt. So stage 3, we're going to try to make it a little more conservative. Luke hits the wall. He hits it again, and we get around him for 4th. As we get loose, save it. As the gap, as you see, it has, come down. Mayo hits the wall, and just like that, we have a new leader. And it's TG Areno in the blue deuce. Or actually, the black deuce. Honor and Rusty Wallace. In all of his successful rides in that number 2. The Hall of Famer. For the captain, Roger Penske. So he's put a little bit of a gap on him. 0.6 of a second from TG to Mayo. Also 0.6 is from me to Celtics. That's decreasing. and the gap between me and Luke is increasing, so I'm feeling pretty good. If I don't make any mistakes, maybe I can get that Southern 500 win on my resume. That would be pretty cool. As we have just driven straight to the back bumper of Celtics for P3 with 28 laps to go. We got lots of time here. As we get a little loose, but that's okay. As we're going to worry about this lap pulsing Forge Palmetto. Hits the wall. Gives us space. We lose a couple of tenths to the leader on that lap. As I continue to ride Celtics, again, you don't necessarily want to make the forced move. Because you can set yourself up. You can set yourself up for a disaster. And let him feel intimidated. Although he may seem new, Celtics fan has been in the SOFA Racing League for a while. In Season 1, he was the regular season champion before Spank won the first ever championship, as we decided to come down this time. And learning from your mistakes is also important. We get a road up significantly better and faster and more efficient. Not only do we make it on pit road just fine, look at the gap between me and the top two. That is significantly close. We've probably gained, I don't know, a second, a half a second. Like, that's clutch. But what's not clutch is our pit stop time at a 16.1, which the Team Randall's pit crew, I've said it all season, we've been inconsistent on the 37 bunch, and that is no exception. Right now, as you see, the gap that I made up coming onto the pits, attacking the pit road, the gap I made up attacking the pits is gone, plus some, but not by much. Coming into the pits, it was what? 2.2? Now it's 2.8. So, yeah. Well, actually, it was 2.5. You know what I'm trying to say. However, we do catch right back up to Celtics. And we're going to get around them for effectively third place now. He gives us a nice little love tap. But he got hit with the Randall Hezzy. So no mistakes, 23 laps. Can we do something up there? No mistakes, but 23 laps. The top two seem to be close. Really close, actually. And we seem to be pulling away a little bit from Celtics in the 21. 22 laps to go now. So it's kind of like a stage at this point. As we have a pulsing coming out of the pits. Trilogy. As I hit that bump coming out of 1. So, we're not necessarily gaining on them, but we just need to keep doing what we're doing. And that is not it, Chief, as we spin. That is not it at all. That's a choke. And our chances of winning pretty much go out the window. Right then and there. With that disaster of turn 1. 20 laps to go. We're still in the top 5. But I kind of want to go back. I mean, I definitely want to go back up into the top. I want to go back up into 3rd place, because I felt like I had failed on lockdown. But I feel bad for Celtics in the 21. I kind of messed him up. I mean, we're not kinda. I actually messed him up a lot. So, yeah, that stinks. But it's Darlington, man. What can you do? You get caught up in a bunch of persons. I'm pretty sure everyone in this field has gotten caught up in other persons' messes. So 18 to go. We can't focus on the past. We can only focus on the present and the future. Right now, it's trying to get around Trilogy in the 20. Lap down. Goon. As he's going to wash up the track and hit the wall. As we're kind of catching Luke for 4th place. As hopefully I can try to get back up into 3rd place. I feel like that's going to be the new move now. And we're pulling away from Celtics fan in the 21. And so we got 16 laps to go. And then Luke hits the wall. And we're just going to keep driving right back up to him. We're also kind of catching Spank in the 22, but not much. As we're all getting ready for the final pit stop. As we lost a total of about 6 seconds from that, just from that. Probably more like actually 7, actually. $14 laps to go. We are now right on Luke's back bumper. But he decides to be a nice gentleman and lets us go. So that's nice. Incredibly nice, actually. So now we're in 4th. And I know what I'm probably going to do for the pit stop. I'm probably going to take 4 tires. I know a bunch of people is about to take 2. Here's the thing. It seems like every season the move is 2, but at the end of the day, I usually gain about 3 to 4 spots. Just from the pits, just from taking 4 tires. Because now we're at the part of the race where your mind is shot and you just want this race over with, and you're going to do basically whatever it takes, and you necessarily can't do whatever it takes. You have to drive. You have to be precise. And at this point of the race, I'm being quite frank. Some of these guys don't drive precisely at the end of these races. So we come down pit road. That wasn't as smooth as the last one was, but it's okay. So we're going to do 2 cans and 4 tires here to get us to the end of the race. The goal, try to get 3rd place. At least I can have a podium. As we get our best pit stop of the day, without even close, at a 15.4. And so we're going to get out pretty close to Spank. As you see Luke and you see Celtics in the 7 and 21 respectively. They both took 2. And we shall see how that goes. Because I'm going to be quite 100 with you. That's not going to work. It never works. It shouldn't work now. As Spank is in the fence. As this is the last run of the race. You have to be precise. 9 laps to go. We're waiting on the cycle of stops to happen. As we are already catching the 21 of Celtics. As we only have 8 laps to go, so I can see why they did it. But yeah, I'm just not a big fan of this right now. With almost everyone pitted, we're in 7th, but we're gonna be in 6th. As soon as the last person comes down pit road, which I don't know who that could be. And so basically, we're just going to try to get them. As you see, Cutto in the 8 go down, up, and back down. And then you see Strauss. Someone still hasn't pitted. Hello. Okay. That was slag. So mistakes. We hit the wall. We lose 3, 4, 5 tenths. Half a second of unnecessary stuff. Oh yeah, Trilogy. Trilogy was the guy who hadn't pitted, and he runs out of gas. So as you can see, now we have traffic uphill. Watch out. Okay. Luke is having trouble up there passing someone. And I'm having trouble passing Palmetto. I might not get a top 5 now. As Luke and Spank make contact. Spank is on the apron. He's going to lose time. Lots of it. As now all 3 of them are now to give up for 3rd place. 3 laps to go. I pretty much just give Palmetto the bump. I'm sorry, dude, but I gotta go. So, 3 laps to go. Luke is in the fence now. Celtics and Spank make contact. Spank is going somewhere. Spank is in the wall. I get around Luke and Spank. 2 for the price of 1. 2 laps to go. We ain't done yet. We got Celtics right in front of us on 2 tiles. 2. And Mayo is slowing considerably. I don't know why. And then Celtics gets caught up into a crash. And so that is that. As we're coming to the white flag, 1 lap to go, presented by BJ's Travel Center. Hashtag cheap plug. Talk about a traumatic turn of events. We're going to go into third. Here comes Mayo. It's right there in front of us. Could we get second? He is swerving like a drunk man on the interstate. For the final time, we are just straight charging this dude. He is incredibly loose. And we don't get him. But that's okay. Because we got third. I don't know how. But yeah. We got third. Man. That is why 2 tiles never works. Because you can't... I don't know. That was nuts. TG wins. He probably had the fastest car on the track. Mayo is second. I'm third. Celtics fourth. Spank fifth. Luke sixth. After all that melee. Because that was a melee. Goodness gracious. As Team Randall's is 2 and 3. So that's cool. But yeah, that's why you don't take 2, y'all. Because it kind of worked out. It put me back. It put me far enough away so that I can just drive through all the trouble and get around everyone just fine and dandy. And Mayo Coupe gets the fastest lap of the race with a 29.05. So Darlington, we started third. We got third, 6th, and 3rd. That's okay. As the next race is Atlanta, and that is going to be very interesting. Will you watch it? You better. Make sure you like and subscribe and comment. I'll see y'all later.